Good morning, fifth graders. We are going to continue with our fractions today by learning how to add mixed numbers. So remember, a mixed number is a number that has a whole number and a fraction. Adding mixed numbers is just like adding fractions, except we also add the whole numbers together. So when we add mixed numbers, the first thing I like to do is make my equal signs and then rewrite my whole number so that I don't forget it. So right away, I'm going to take this 4 and I'm going to rewrite it right here because I don't want to forget to add it together at the end. The same thing with this 2, that's my whole number. Then I find that I see that these are unlike fractions. The denominators are not the same. And we know that before we add fractions together, we have to have like fractions. The denominators need to be the same because the pieces need to be the same size. So in order to find like fractions, I'm going to find my least common denominator by listing my 5s and my 4s, my multiples of 5 and my multiples of 4. So when I count by 5s, I would say 5, 10, 15, 20, and my 4s, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. I found my least common denominator right here. The smallest number when I count by 4s and 5s that they both have is 20. So notice that's my red, right? So I'm going to put that as my new denominator right here and right here. I'm going to fix these so it's in the middle. $20 is my denominator here and here. Now I need to find my numerator. So I look at my 5 and I say, how many times did I count by 5 to get to that 20? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 times 4 is 20. And whatever I do to the denominator of a fraction, I have to do to the numerator. 2 times 4 is 8. So what I found out here is that 4 and 2/5 is the same as 4 and 8/20. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this fraction. I say, how many times did I count by 4 to get to 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 times 5 is 20. Whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. 2 times 5 is 10. So 2 and 2/4 is the same as 2 and 10/20. Now I add just like our regular adding fractions. The only difference is I also have to add my whole number. So I like to do that first to make sure I don't forget to do it. 4 plus 2 is 6. So 6 is my whole number. Remember, our denominator stays the same when we add fractions, so that's 20. And then we add our numerators. 8 plus 10 is 18. So I have 6 and 18/20. You're going to see there's more work on here because we always want to put things in simplest form if we can. That means I need to simplify 18/20. So I'm going to list the factors of 18 and the factors of 20. When I list the factors of 18, I always start with 1 and the number itself, so I know I have 1 and 18. I look and see if it's an even number, and it is because it ends in an 8, so I have 2 times 9. And then I say, is 3 a factor? And it is a factor of 18. 3 times 6. And I know that that's all the factors of 18, so I get to stop right there. I do the same thing for 20. I always start with 1 and the number itself. I always look to see if it's an even number. It is. So I know 2 is a factor, and if I count by 2s, it takes me 10 times to get to 20. And then I know 5 is a factor because there's a 0, and any number that ends in a 5 or a 0, 5 is a factor. And I know that 4 times 5 is how we got to 20. I can even see that right up here. So now when I look at my factors, I can see that the greatest common factor is 2, which means I'm going to divide both my numerator and my denominator by 2. I don't want to forget my whole number again, so I have my 6 right here. I just keep it the same right here. Rewrite it, and then I divide my 18 divided by 2 is 9, and 20 divided by 2 is 10. So my final answer here is 6 9/10. So really this is just like adding fractions. The only difference today is that we are going to have to add as well the whole number. 4 2/5 plus 2 2/4 is 6 9/10. So you're going to see that you have to do problems just like this. Some of them you'll have to simplify and some of them you won't. And then you have a story problem to do on your own. It's the same thing, you're adding mixed numbers here, but make sure that you are showing all of your work on your whiteboard, taking a picture, and then dragging the circle to choose the best answer. And then you have a review problem where you're going to review what we learned on Monday, right? Rewrite this division expression as a fraction and then simplify it. Then rate yourself on how you did today and submit your slides on Schoology.